Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. In this video, we are going to talk about Amazon GuardDuty. Now, what is GuardDuty is that it's a detection service that continuously monitors your AWS account for malicious and unauthorized behavior, including abnormal API calls or compromised instances. So, so GuardDuty is basically a service where you can remember it like it does the duty of guarding your instance. Now, what's the difference between Shield and Guard Duty? Because both are somewhere related. Shield you can consider as a reactive approach, Guard Duty as a proactive approach. So, Shield is protecting you from the incoming attacks. Okay, it's a bit mostly reactive stuff. Guard Duty over here is a proactive one where it detects threat even before it happens, where it looks for in your AWS account for malicious or unauthorized behavior, including any kind of API calls which is happening around your account. So that kind of API calls which happens through Amazon, right, could say that the computer which you've been using to connect to AWS would be compromised, and that kind of AWS call is coming from such computer where you're accessing your AWS. So likewise, guard duty is guarding your existing information on your S3, your RDS, IAM, your VPCs, under VPC like EC2 server instances, any kind of container services. So all services are monitored using guard duty. Okay. Now let's talk about the real-time example. Imagine that if you're running a financial application like a banking system and your guard duty detects an unusual API call, such as access to sensitive data or unfamiliar IP addresses. So, Guard Duty raises an alert helping you to investigate the potential unauthorized access and take preventive action against such breaches. Now, Guard Duty will be looking for mostly on the API calls and how communication comes through. So this is more or less in that area of security or securing your application. Let's talk about a couple of features over here. So one is the continuous monitoring. So monitors the cloud trial, VPC flow logs, and DNS logs for suspicious activity. Anomaly detection, wherein which it uses a machine learning to detect anomalies in accounts and network activities. And also automated alerts is something which is also one of the features which you can include, where it will send an actionable security alert when the threat is detected. So you can connect this with Event Bridge, and then SNS will send it basically SMS in Slack, and then you can also connect it with Lambda function to trigger a function there. In terms of key benefits out there, so it's basically a proactive threat detecting the potential threat early, such as compromised instances or malicious API calls, and as well as like no infrastructure management. So it is a fully managed service, so you don't need to deploy any kind of maintenance infrastructure. So let's just quickly look at the way it looks. So guard duty. So that's a service out there. So just middle click that, and just a bit slow. Sorry about that. All right, so now I have just unpaused my video. So it took about like 5 seconds for it to load. So here you have the Amazon Guard Duty intelligent threat prevention for account and workload. So both it prevents accounts, as I told you, if someone is doing an API call, command line call, or anything like that, and it finds it suspicious, it's gonna like trigger an alert, a security alert, and that. So it is not just about the service level stuff, but also about your account level stuff, like how people are accessing it. And then Guard Duty, all feature experience the threat detection capabilities in AWS environment, Guard Duty, malware protection, and in this one, it's a S3 only. So it's either go for all features or S3 only. So your pricing will be dependent on that. Now, so you can see that the features and benefits is a malware protection for S3, and then easy to deploy and scale. up-to-date threat detection protection. So likewise, so you just go in over here, get started. Now, here you have some permission roles. We will talk about this later. So this is a shared permission between other services and this particular one. But we're going to use the default one, so we're not going to worry about it. So protection plan over here is enable GuardDuty for first time, enabling GuardDuty protection plus, except runtime monitoring and malware protection for S3, both of which can be enabled as per the console and API. So all we have to do right now is to enable it. So you get like 30 days free trial. So that's a very good news for us. So so you're gonna get some 30 days trial over here. If you wanna delegate an administrator role over here, you can put in the ID. But I'm just gonna go with enable GuardDuty over here. I'm gonna use the default ID for that. So going over here, you can successfully enable GuardDuty over here. So now GuardDuty is enabled. So all it does is like it detects my account access and see how it's going to be working with it. So there's nothing finding over here because it may take some time to analyze my login information, API calls and stuff like that. So pretty much nothing much over here to report at this moment. So you can also enable runtime monitoring. So remaining 30 days for Fargate and EKS and EC2 instance as well. So runtime monitoring will check it in the runtime, which means that when the service is running, so it's gonna check and it's gonna work with that. You can also enable service for EKS, which is Kubernetes service, Fargate, which is ECS, which is your container service. You have the EC2, which is a server service. Okay, so that's pretty much that. And you have the option of enabling malware protection for S3. So this is going to enable a notification for you if someone is uploading a malware into your S3. Okay, so likewise, RDS protection is also there as part of this. LAMP protection is also there as part of GuardDuty. GuardDuty is one of the important security stuff, and you may get definitely one question from GuardDuty for sure because of the importance it has been given. So again, GuardDuty is a threat detection service for that is continuously monitoring your AWS account for malicious and unauthorized behavior. And this is something you should remember when you go for it. And this is a proactive service where it detects it early, the threat early, and it is applicable for all the services in that in your case. So it is applicable for RDS, which is your relational database service, or we can call it a managed service. It applies for Lambda, which is basically your fully managed service, and then you have the protection for S3, EC2, and runtime protection for other services like EKS, EC2, which is a container-based managed service. So Fargate for ECS again, then EC2. So likewise, you have protection from you can say from malicious content and stuff like that, and account access as well. So that's something which you can actually use GuardDuty for. Thank you again for your patience and time. If you have any questions, leave it on the question section. Do remember to refer the cheat sheet if you want to take a quick look at all these services. It has that 20-second read on all services so that it gets you the important points before your exam. Thank you again. I'll see you in the next one.